Okay, I'm going to make one more drawing file example. This one's going to be the central panel. Right click on it in the browser, create drawing. 17.5 by 11 is fine with me. And here we go. Is this a good front view? I don't think so. I think your front view is the one with the most features. And so at it in this orientation has the most features. So that's what you're thinking about with front view. Make it a little bit bigger. See, right now it's 0.5, so let's go 0.7. And that looks pretty good. So we'll click that. And do we need to change anything? Let's turn off the hidden lines to avoid confusion and say OK. Project your other views. Moink, moink, moink. Let's say OK. Doll up this one so that gets colored. Say close. We're going to everything. So as you do this over and over again, it gets quicker and quicker. And the only part you really need to turn your brain on for is the dimensioning part. So, practice, habits, making good habits. Okay, we're there. Let's move this over a little bit. Move this over a little. This over just a titch, and that looks good. I'm going to make this one slightly bigger like I've been doing just because I want a certain aesthetic quality to my drawing sheets. You'll kind of find out where you're at, but some of the non-negotiables are like labeling your views, and most of the time putting in all 4 of these views. All right, let's start throwing in the dimensions. We have 1 depth, so that's easy. We have a lot of stuff here, so let's pull this almost as far as we can go. Zoom in a little bit. We've got 1 diameter, and so that breaks the rule of trying to put your views in between each other. Here's one. I'm going to click that, and so I'm going to double click. This is tough. I'm going to double click on these numbers, and I'm going to type in TYP. And maybe just making a little extra note, like X3. What I want to try to express here is that every side of this triangle is the same. It's an equilateral triangle. We've got the width of this. Got the width of, and we've got the height of this. Whew. For this one, I'm going to turn on. No, I'm not going to turn it on. Let's do 1 overall height. And you'd think we're done, but we're not even close because we've got to show the location of these things, right? Let's turn dimension. Find the center point of your circle. Come over to the side and straight up. So that would let somebody know that from the center of the circle to the edge is 1.25. That's a location dimension. How about this? We can't pick the center of the... Let's maybe pick this point here and that point there. And should we pull it up or down? Let's pull it down. You want all of your dimensions to be outside of your shapes, outside of your part, okay? And ideally, you'd want them to be in between adjacent views, but in this case, we're going to break that rule a little bit, and we're just going to have to live with it. So how far is it from there to there? 7.5, and then 1 more, and you can choose top or bottom. There to there is also 1 inch. We'll see if we can line it up with the other 1 inch. I guess we can't. Move this over just a little bit. Yoink. All right. So manipulate all your views. Are we missing anything? We're saying this is 1 inch in diameter. We're saying this is a 1 inch square. We're saying that's located there. This is located. We have to say how. We know it's how far it is from that edge, but we have to locate it from this edge as well. So it's 1/2 inches in, and we've said this one is 2.87 from the side, but we also haven't said how far that is from the top or bottom. And this is really going to mess things up. So let's choose this point just because it's a little bit lower than the others and pull that out and stop for a minute. All right, so these numbers here are the dimensions. You probably figured that out. But a couple new pieces of nomenclature for you. These lines extending down from the part, what you're dimensioning, are called extension lines. Check that out. And then these lines with little arrows are called dimension lines. And basically it's saying from the tip of this, from this extension line to this extension line is this much. Okay? So that's just a little bit of naming business. I'm going to tidy this up just a little bit, move my front view down, and then move this down a little further away. And while it's looking super busy, it provides the user all the information that they're going to need. Let's throw in that nice little pictorial. What do we have there? We have the northeast, and we don't want hidden lines. What would it look like if we threw hidden lines in on these two views? Well, let's do it and just kind of take a look. Well, that makes it real confusing. But you could trade up these dimensions and use these lines as these edges. And making the connection between hidden lines and what they represent it takes most people a little while. You can think of it as like seeing kind of X-ray vision behind the surface. There's a feature behind the surface, and so it represents itself as these dashed lines. But this is just kind of a warm-up for our class to get you the basic skills you need to start designing and dimensioning all your parts. So you don't have to take yourself too seriously at this point. Just do your best to try to get all this stuff laid out just like I'm doing it. Child's toy, and then this one we called it the central panel. It's such a dumb name. All right, central panel. And yeah. All right, so don't forget to take screenshots, put them in your portfolio. You're going to have a different drawing for each one of these parts. Very good.